Where is this season going now?
Good question.
They are now, in their last 10 games, they are 3-6-1. This was their 10th game of December. So in the month of December, which is really where they started to get going last year, like, this was the time.
Yeah, it was.
Without the goaltending, without point per game michkov, and without the effective 3D pairs that we talked about, like, all of November and the beginning of this month, like, what the hell is this team? Do you think they can stay in the playoff race as currently constructed?
I was just going to ask, Charlie, because you were uncharacteristically positive about the Flyers making the playoffs. Are you still feeling like they make the playoffs?
Well, given that one of the three reasons why I was uncharacteristically positive is now toiling down in Allentown, no, I'm not quite as positive, because that was a big part of it, was that you solve the second pair. You have a play-driving second pair. Now you don't, because for some reason you decided that Emil Andrae isn't that good, I guess. Yeah, I am significantly less optimistic because they demoted Emil Andrae. I am.
So I understand that you have a difficult job that requires a lot of balance as far as the way you approach things with the people that work for the Philadelphia Flyers. But I really do hope that you and your colleagues continue to press this Emil Andrae thing, because it makes no sense, and they haven't given an answer that makes sense.
Well, their answer is, we don't think he's playing that well, and then we're like, yeah, but look at the numbers, and they say, well, we don't care, we know hockey.
How about look at the teams, the results on the ice since you've sent him away?
It's a reasonable point.
Yeah, that's another
Have
loss
we considered
tonight.
those? Yeah.
And Charlie's been, like, keeping you updated what the team does with and without him. Like, listen, it's not a one-to-one thing, but when you see a dude and it's like, yeah, they have like an 800 points percentage with him and they're sub 500 without him.
Yeah, when he's in the lineup, they win. When he's not in the lineup, they lose. And they purposely removed him from the lineup.
The unspoken answer to me is, I mean, like they think this is best for his development. So much like trading Sean Walker last year, they just don't care. They don't care if this tanks their playoff chances. They don't care what sort of after effects it has. They think he's best served playing in the AHL. And if that's what's best for him, and that means the team 3, 4, 5 years from now, that's what they're going to do. And while that is very frustrating, because selfishly, we have to watch these games, and he's one of the guys that's interesting to watch play.
It's fun to watch. He does stuff. And it's mostly good stuff.
It's kind of what we demand of them, is do the stuff that we think is good for them in the future, even if it hurts you today.
Yeah, but the problem with that is, if you're going to do that, then do it all. If you're gonna send Emil Andrae down, like the Walker thing was a separate thing because you have to make a decision.
That makes sense.
You have to make a decision. His contract's up at the end of the year. Either you re-sign him, you let him leave for nothing, or you get something back for him. They got something back for him. That made sense to me as we're rebuilding, but we're not tanking move. This move is one of those where it's like, well, the only way this move is acceptable to me is if this is purely a tanking move. But the problem is that if this is purely a tanking move, then go full tank. And they're not going full tank. So if they're not going to go full tank, then I have to believe this wasn't a tanking move. This was we actually didn't think he was playing that well, and we're sending him down. And the thing I disagree with is that I think they were wrong, and he was actually playing pretty well and didn't deserve to be sent down.
That's the problem. That's the problem that it has. It's like, it's a bigger thing than Emil Andrae. It's that you looked at your team.
Yes.
And you decided that it was worse with this player in the lineup than it was without him. And I don't know how, either through numbers, public or private, or your eyeballs, you could come to that conclusion.
It's a player evaluation.
Listen, I'd rather Emil Andrae be here. And I think looking at this defense and going, he's not one of our 6 best, is a ridiculous outcome. Like, that's a ridiculous evaluation.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if it's, he's getting by on certain things, and listen, he started out, it was great. When they started using him as a second pair defenseman, he was killing it. There was a drop-off.
There was.
And if they believe that's going to lead
showing
to
up in the numbers,
him developing some habits that they don't like, and it would bear out in the long term, I can't be upset about that decision, even if it hurts the right now.
But there are other players. Like, Sam Ersson
But they're not
looks like
worried about his
crap.
development.
Why can't he learn this in the NHL? Like, okay, fine.
Because they think that might have ruined Jamie Drysdale.
Okay, well then talk to Jamie Drysdale and get him a conditioning stint and send him down to the AHL.
Yeah, right.
Because he's one of those guys who is making so many mistakes that, number one, he's actively leading to losses, and number two,
We saw some
at least
tonight.
over the last 3 games, like, maybe he would be better served in the AHL right now.
If they could get Jamie Drysdale through waivers, they probably would send him to the
Conditioning
AHL.
stint.
Unfortunately,
Well, he has to accept it.
there's never been.
You make him do that.
You can't.
You can.
Not really.
John
There's never-
Tortorella seems like he can be very convincing.
I mean,
There's a thing Jeff Marek has been saying that I've come to agree with, even though like it sucks for us as people watching the games. No one was ever hurt by too much AHL time. There are guys who got too much NHL time right away and it hurt their development. If you're going to make it though, the AHL ain't going to kill you. I don't think it's going to hurt.
I agree.
It sucks right now.
I don't think it's going to hurt him either. I don't think it is going to.
No, it's hurting us.
I don't think it's going to destroy
I don't
his
like
development.
it.
I don't think it's going to destroy. However, I also believe, like, I don't think he's going to be a worse player 3 years from now because he spent a few extra years down in the minors. The comparison I'll make is Travis Sanheim. Similar situation in 2017, 2018, where really good by the numbers, made some big mistakes. They sent him down. We ripped him for it on BSH radio. He came back up, played well at the end of the year. I don't think it's going to make or break his career. However, I do believe this. I believe that there are things that he has to learn that he's only going to learn in the NHL. That being good in rush coverage against AHLers is not necessarily going to make it so he's immediately good in rush coverage against NHLers, because guess what? They're bigger, faster, and way more talented. I would rather him be up here making the kinds of mistakes that led to the Anze Kopitar goal against LA this past week, rather than dominating in the AHL and then coming back up and having to relearn the fact that, oh, there's a future Hall of Famer. I need to be better. Like, I need to be better focused. I need to be better in the moment to prepare for him coming down the ice, as opposed to getting better at it against AHLers. I think there are things he's only going to learn in the NHL. And do I think he'll learn it just as well at age 24 as he would at age 22? Yeah, I do. But you're just putting it off needlessly.
I think there is something to, while he can't, we've said forever, the best way to learn to play in the NHL is playing in the NHL. I fully believe that. There are elements of the preparation process, like learning to be a pro, all that stuff that you can learn in the AHL, and then when you take it to the NHL, you're better prepared to be able to apply it all. And maybe that's the issue. Like, he's not able to apply, like, they watch the video, they tell him what to do, and then for whatever reason, it's like, oh yeah, and you still got burned by Kopitar.
I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
When the Flyers are collecting 60% of the expected goals, shots on goal, and actual goals when a guy's on the ice, it's really hard for me to accept that he's overmatched at the NHL level.
I don't even think it's an overmatched issue like it was last year.
Well, if he's not overmatched, then let him learn here. The only reason I would give to sending a guy down is exactly what we saw last year with him, which is he's clearly overmatched. He can't learn on the fly because he just can't hang. The numbers tell me he can hang. So if he can hang, then let him hang here and learn that here rather than sending him down for reasons.
I just think there are certain reasons that are valid that we just can't know.
I'm sure they have more information about it than we do. I do not doubt that.
I hate that argument. I know they have different statistics than the
It's
ones
not
that we see
statistical.
on Natural Stat Trick or whatever, but we all have friggin' eyeballs.
This isn't a statistical thing. It's about learning and who you are as a professional.
Like,
and
he doesn't
becoming
carry his bag properly, he didn't put his skates on
No,
right.
it's how
he's
you
got a
handle
shitty
practice. It's
attitude
how
in
you
practice.
act. It's how you act in the locker room and carry yourself. There's millions of things beyond just the stuff that happens when you're on the ice that leads to your eventual success. Because let's be honest, it's not as if he was setting the world on fire. He looked good.
Yeah.
He looked very good. What do you have, 4 points?
The
He wasn't Goss's
was
fair, that's
better.
fair.
The team was better
But
with
they
him on
have
it.
told us they don't care about winning and losing this year. Repeatedly. They don't care. If they
I
did,
don't
like,
know
they
what
trade
we're
for a
doing
goalie
then.
right now. I mean, like, not right now, but on the 28th or something.
Not right
They
now.
go get a goalie who has a better than .850 save percentage because right now they don't have one.
I don't think this is hurting Andre. I have trouble imagining a world where this is dramatically helping him either. I have trouble with it because
I doubt it's dramatically helping.
I don't know what he's going to learn in the AHL at this point that he wouldn't be able to learn quicker and faster in the NHL, facing off against the actual level of players he's going to need to thrive against if he's going to make it work long term.
I just think you are seriously underestimating the developmental capabilities of Ivan Laperriere.
Oh my God! Like, do we need to get started on that?
Amazing.
Check the Phantom score tonight. It was very similar.
Did they lose?
the holidays,
7-2.
after the holidays, we're going to have Matty Campbell on.
Hey!
We're going to talk some Phantoms at some point, and that will absolutely be a discussion.
Outstanding.
But while I don't believe in Laperriere, I do believe in Jason Smith. I like him.
We all silly like the mayor.